As a music business, website traffic is incredibly important because if you're not getting website traffic, no one's coming to your site, then you're not getting any clients from it. Therefore, it's a wasted asset and all the time and money you're spending on your website is all for nothing. Here are 3 simple ways for you to 100 times your website traffic, which I've personally used and implemented, and they've been effective in my business. I like to refer to these 3 things as a sort of fire triangle for website traffic. The same way as ignition, fuel, and oxygen creates a fire, these 3 things create an explosion of website traffic, and it's only when you implement all 3 things you can get the very most out of each one and get that sudden burst of website traffic. So the first way to get more website traffic and the fuel to this fire triangle is your content. Content is absolutely key for getting discovered, and if you're too lazy or you don't think you need content or you don't want to create content every week, then you are simply just not going to get what you want out of this. You are not going to get the website traffic without creating some form of consistent content. So every time you post a blog, whether that's from your website, every time you post a video on Google, another bit of your stuff gets posted into Google. It gets put out there for people to find and people to see. So each one of those is kind of like a lottery ticket. And the more bits of content you create, the more lottery tickets you've got. And the more chance of you being discovered, of people finding your post, of Google deciding to rank this post high. And that is when the website traffic starts pouring in. This is exactly how my website traffic exploded on one of my websites, and that is why I think it's so important, because I've witnessed this firsthand. And if you look below now, you should be able to see just how my website traffic increased when Google decided to rank one of my posts. So what happens is when you are posting content, this gets put onto Google eventually, and then people will start to come across it very slowly. When your content first makes it on Google, it will never be the first page, and it will very rarely even be the top 5 or even top 10 pages. But when someone does eventually come across your content, and if they spend a lot of time on your page, they engage with it, then Google will decide to rank that higher up the search results for certain keywords associated with that content. Then from there, more people will see it. If they continue to react with it in a positive way, then Google will keep pushing it up, pushing it up, pushing it up further, the search results, until eventually you are getting a ton of website traffic. And that is what happened with one of my posts. I was posting content for about a year, and then eventually one of them exploded. And as a result of that, a lot of my posts started to get results too. Some may call this luck, but you make your own luck by putting more content out there and getting more of those lottery tickets. So it's important that you start posting some form of weekly content, whether that's a short article, whether it's a review on gear, whether it's a tutorial, whether it's a video embedded into a blog post or a YouTube video. You can actually copy the link of that YouTube video, post a blog from your website, link into that YouTube video with a short summary. Content is the fuel that gets people coming to your website. Without it, you will not be able to do this. You will not be able to get the website traffic you desire, and you will not get results. Step 2 is creating a lead magnet for your website. Now, this acts as the oxygen that combines with your content, the fuel, to create that environment that's perfect for an explosion of website traffic. Although not 100% necessary or as important as content, a lead magnet can help not only keep visitors with you, but also get you more visitors as well. So a lead magnet is a free downloadable product or guide, so like a PDF, could be an ebook, it could be a cheat sheet or a checklist, some form of free downloadable product that helps your audience get a quick win. This is usually in exchange for someone's email address, so they'll sign up, they'll give you their email, they'll opt into your mailing list, and they'll get this free downloadable product. Now, what this does is it helps you collect these people that are interested in you, in your business, in your website. This collects people into one space, and this means that you can keep sending your weekly content to these people every single week via an email broadcast. Now, not only does this add value to these people on your mailing list and get some wanting to work with you or buy your products in the future, not only that, but them going back to your content again will reinforce that content even more, build your SEO, your search engine optimization. It'll get your blog posts more views, which is going to make Google want to rank them even higher. Step 3 is the ignition source to your oxygen and your fuel. So that is to your content and to your lead magnet. This is finding an online audience. Now, without an online audience to start with, then it's very hard to get things kickstarted, which is why this is like your ignition source. If you find a good Facebook group, which there are tons of them out there, a good community online, then you need to be posting your content in there on a regular basis. For example, my target audience is predominantly drummers, and there are tons of Facebook groups or communities, you may call them, that are just dedicated to drummers. So drummers worldwide, drummers online, drummers in the UK. There's loads and loads and loads of groups out there amounting to tens or even hundreds of thousands of people. If you can join those groups, and every single week when you create a new piece of content, you can put it into these groups and you can add value to people in there. Also, don't be afraid to then post your lead magnet in there on a monthly basis. This is going to get people on your mailing list and get them committed to your content as well. So as you are offering value, you're offering your lead magnet this free guide, you're offering videos and content and blogs to people in these groups, then that is going to get you website traffic directly. And this website traffic from the work you're putting into these communities is going to help you rank higher on Google, which is going to help your organic reach as well. And this is when eventually you won't have to do any kind of promoting yourself. Google is doing the hard work for you. All this is, it's like a push start at the beginning to help get that initial surge of website traffic to then push you into that organic reach. It's important that when you post into these communities, you make it about helping them, not about them viewing your content for you or doing you a favor or joining your mailing list. You need to make this about helping people, adding value, what it is that your target audience wants. Also, when you are talking to potential clients on a regular basis and you're starting to figure out that people have certain kinds of problems, then if you have not got a piece of content that solves that problem for them, then add that to your list of content to make. Your content needs to be geared around helping your audience, so it should be natural for them to want to consume your content because it's going to help their problems directly. So you're releasing weekly content then, you're giving it out to people via direct message, you're giving it out to people in Facebook groups, you're posting it on your social media business pages. All that's working for you. You've got a lead magnet out there, you're promoting your lead magnet on your content as well, which means that people that are viewing your content are on your mailing list and therefore coming back to your other bits of content. All this works together as like a well-oiled machine, and eventually Google are going to pick up your posts, start showing it to hundreds or thousands of people, and that is where your website traffic really takes off. Please note that this does take time. It's a matter of luck as well, like I said earlier, but you make your own luck by putting more content out there. Make it consistent, whatever you do, whether that's once a week, twice a week, it needs to be at least once a week. Make it consistent, and it's only when you're consistent over a long period of time you will see results.